Now, part two of our special report, Alan's road trip. Tonight, Alan Carter takes a ride with the Chief of Police, James Barber, and they visit what was once known as the most violent street in Mobile.
For the past 4 years, we've heard the declaration, the goal for Mobile to be America's safest city by 2020. A lofty expectation, one that in large part rests on the shoulders of this man. Have you ever given anyone a ticket while they were in the car with you?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay.
If I did, I would be giving my wife one.
The first time for everything.
You driving or?
Yeah, I'll drive, yeah. Probably the most law-abiding ride of my life. But there were a couple of points of interest Chief Barber wanted to take a look at.
Why don't we start on Webb Avenue? We just talk about some of the successes on Webb.
Webb Avenue is in southeast Mobile. Just a few years ago, possibly the most violent street in the city.
I think we had 5 homicides that were related to Webb Avenue. And we're talking about a street that's about a quarter mile long.
Most all attributed to the drug trade, particularly spice. And we were actually there as police conducted raids on the streets, a time when Chief Barber might not have been too well received there. Now,
this was the main thoroughfare for the open-air drug market.
And this looks like a nice, this does not look like a bad neighborhood. Like when someone says bad neighborhood, this is not what I think of.
No, this isn't. You've got some blighted properties. This is one of the properties, I believe, that was searched back here.
Sure.
And so there were some blighted properties here, but you can see there are a lot of people that are still here that are just good people that just want to be safe and left alone.
We got out and walked the streets for a little bit and talked to one of those citizens.
Yeah, a whole lot safer around here now since we can clean the place up.
Larry Welch has lived here for 20 years.
At one time, there was a lot of people coming through here, and that's where a lot of the criminal activities was coming from. But the chief started putting more patrols in the area, especially in the evenings, and that kind of cleaned the place up.
Next, we headed to an area that is still a work in progress, the campground. The chief says as much as drugs breed crime, so does blight. And this is an area where you will see boarded up house after boarded up house.
You know, when you have open air drug markets, people that can move away. And so that starts your blight conditions. And then the more you have that, the property values go down, the less people want to live. They certainly aren't going to move to the area.
At times, police have simply torn down those properties, like this one, which is now just an empty plot.
How many times have we searched this house? You remember? I think it's 4 altogether.
Or taken them over, like this one in Maysville.
So, we seized the house on a restraining order. We agreed to return it back to the property owner on 2 conditions. One of them, no illegal drug sales, and the second one, bring it up to code.
How many of these have you done so far in terms of actually having to go in and doing a restraining order?
Probably half a dozen.
Barber senses the gains they are making, but knows it's not enough.
We are a long ways from where we need to be. Last year we finished off with our lowest homicide rate, murder rate that we've had in a decade. But then again, you start off this year with a significant number of murders. When you look at the whole picture, as the city as a whole, you get a better indication. But then again, it doesn't. How do you tell a family of a murder victim that crime is down?
Be a tough sell.
That's exactly right.
But with that, we called it a day and let the chief get back to work. And tomorrow we head out with the always entertaining Councilman Fred Richardson. He has some real concerns about some situations in his district, and I have all of that as part of our series. It's one of the most eye-opening moments that we had out of all of these that we did. That's tomorrow night at 5 and 10 o'clock. And then later this week, we're going to have trips with Orange Beach Mayor Tony Kennan and our own Mel Showers. Reporting live in the studio, Alan Carter, News 5.
2 military